Hartmann insisted became more manageable when regarded from an intra-systemic point of view. By this, he evidently meant to suggest that the ego's widely varying aims derived from its separate functions, and that these latter could be seen as fitting together provided one considered them on a sufficiently high plane of abstraction. For those who had learned in elemental Freudian terms to think of the ego as an embattled contestant in its daily struggle for survival against the superego and the id, such a rarefied explanation might offer little more than semantic deliverance. To enhance still further the ego's newly won status, Hartmann urged his readers to assume that it disposed of independent psychic energy. Earlier, he had taken pains to point out that the energy in question, at least as revealed in analysis, had nothing in common with a metaphysical, Bergsonian élan vital. It was rather an operational concept devised to coordinate observational data. Yet, it was also apparent that the whole notion of energy as a physical term led ultimately back to biology. And with this recognition, Hartmann found himself in the most doubtful realm of Freud's theory, the question of drives and their crucial situation at the meeting point of his dynamic and economic modes of explanation. Here, Hartmann frankly confessed his puzzlement. Aside from lamenting the fact that Freud's English translators had not seen fit to maintain the distinction between instinct and drive, and had used the first expression indiscriminately for both, he treated the whole matter with extreme caution. He refused to enter into a discussion of Freud's biological speculation. Assumptions concerning driven toward life or death, he added, facilitated neither the fitting together of existent propositions nor the formulation of new linchpins. If one limited oneself, as he and his closest collaborators did, to hypotheses that could now or in the foreseeable future be checked against empirical evidence, against data of clinical observation, developmental studies, or experimentation in normal or abnormal psychology. The clear implication was that it was safer to stick with a phenomenon such as sexuality, whose reality and force were undeniable. Yet there was one of Freud's late additions to his energetic theory which Hartmann welcomed in elucidating the ego. The delineation of aggression as an independent drive Hartmann found indispensable to the work of the contemporary analyst. Having separated it out from the death instinct with which Freud had left it entangled, he felt free to devote some of his most meticulous pages to elaborating its aims, its derivatives, and its substitutes. For Hartmann, the concept of aggression remained among the fundamentals of theory. Freud's duality of sex and aggression passed over intact into his thought. Hence, it was logical that he should respect the course that had been proposed by a number of his colleagues to confer emeritus status on Freud's concept of intellectual and instinctual drives, to pay respect to it in the history of psychoanalysis. Don't ask me what he's saying. How's that?
Emeritus?
Huh?
It's emeritus?
Emeritus. Yeah, it means, if you're awarded
E-M-E-R-T.
EMERITUS.
do you write confer?
KFR. And conference is KFRNS. Conferring, conferred, conferee. And you're at duality. One stroke. That's it. First thing I'm going to do is take a nap. The luxury of a nap. When you first called me up, I was heavy in a nap. That's why I couldn't make it I could get to the phone in time. But I had gotten up at 4:30. I worked till about 8 o'clock on the computer, finished up all the stuff to be emailed. Then I went out downtown to see if I could go to the Sky, but I took the wrong train, and I look up and I'm going over the Manhattan Bridge to Brooklyn. So as soon as I got to the first station, I stopped. I got to the other side, went back, and I found it's the J train, if you're not in the 8th Avenue system, that goes to Wall Street. So then I get down there, guy's not there. He just called me up that he's got everything. He's got a machine of mine that's ready, and he fixed that paper thing. That's good. Yeah, we'll straighten out this build. What are you doing tomorrow? You going to class in the morning?
I have class till 10, and then we should meet for lunch or something at 11.
Yeah.
And we could do it right in the bagel shop, and then hopefully we'll be done by.
Yeah, I'll take along the rough dress.
And then we still have the job at 1.
That's right. Tomorrow. But don't worry about it. I'll make it. And as an embattled contestant in its daily struggle for survival, and the is such a rarefied explanation more than semantic to enhance still further the ego's newly won status. Hartman urged his readers to assume that it disposed of independent derived from its separate functions. Not really. Such apparent contradictions, Hartman insisted, became more contradictions. Hartman started from an intra-systemic to suggest that the egos fitting together, provided one considered them on Freudian terms. To think of the ego as an embattled contestant in its daily struggle for survival might offer little more than semantic deliverance. Urged his readers, revealed in analysis, had nothing in common with a metaphysical Bergsonian élan vital. It was rather to coordinate observational data. Hartman found himself in the fact that Freud's English translators' relation. Assumption to find out which one is free.
Which one of what is